14 albums. 14 albums Green Day have been putting out into the world for over 30 years. That is wild to think about. Green Day have been an established pop-punk, pop rock band ever since they broke out with Dookie in 1994, and they've been consistently putting out fantastic music from the 90s output to the rock operas of American Idiot and 21st Century Breakdown, and even some surprises like Revolution Radio in 2016. The band are back with their new album, The Saviors, in 2024, their 14th album overall. This is a follow-up to 2020's Father of All, which was arguably their worst album. It was an attempt to leave their label Reprise Records only to come back for it on Saviors. To be honest, that kind of makes Father of All look worse in that regard. That doesn't matter because Saviors is here, coming in at 15 songs and about 46 minutes and produced by Rob Cavallo. This album is the return to form that many of us have been wanting for a while. While it's not a perfect album, it'll satisfy many who are diehard or casual fans. The American Dream Is Killing Me was the lead single released in October, and it's the type of politically charged music most familiar with the band will expect. Guitars from Billie Joe are great as always, and the message strikes hard given today's climate. Despite the line about TikTok and taxes, it's a good return to form for the band. Look Bondo Brains was the second single in November, and in my opinion, this was the weakest single for the album. Now, this is not a bad song by any means. It's a short 2-minute track that has a lot of energy and quick to the punch, and it definitely grew on me the more I heard it, but compared to the other singles, it's not as strong. Bobby Socks was the single released on the album release date, and it's one I really enjoy. It's a nice and simple love song, but what sells it is the interpolation of the lyrics going from girlfriend to boyfriend. With Billie Joe being bisexual, it makes sense, and it can be seen for whatever you identify as. The music itself has a great impact to add on as well. It's something that you can have great admiration for as an entire song. One Night Bastard was the last single before the release date, and they went for the throat on this song. It's a vicious track about seeking revenge towards the higher-ups who've been messing up the world. I really like the riff here along with the drums from Tré. Even though the riff is kind of reminiscent of So What by Pink, I still think it's a great song and single choice. Its energy is what sells it for me, and a song like this is needed on a Green Day album. Dilemma was released as the third single in December, and this is easily the best song Green Day have made since Revolution Radio in 2016, and my favorite on the album. Primarily about Billie Joe's alcohol addiction and rehab, this has so much emotion being put into it, and you can feel it all throughout the entire song with the guitars, drums, bass, vocals. It's everything you want in an open and honest Green Day song. It's the definition of less is more. 1981 is another short 2-minute track that has a lot of pump-up energy into it. Everyone's firing all on cylinders, and it's a pretty fun track to headbang to. There isn't much left to say about this song other than being a nice short track to have fun with. Goodnight Adeline was one of the more ballad-like songs, and it's a very nice track that seems to be talking about the reflection of someone from Billie's past, but also with the happiness and the pain that was brought from that experience. It's such a lovely track that doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's just like a warm embrace when you hear the song. A very lovely track. Coma City was one I originally didn't care for, but it grew on me. Lyrically, this song is great about the many shootings and gunshots that occur every day that it gets numbing. It's a serious topic that works great. The energy from the guitars and drums is great. Tré Cool really stepped up to the drumming on this track. Originally, I thought this song was too long and repetitive, but it's just a fun track with a lot of great things to admire about. Corvette Summer follows next, and this is where the issues lie. A couple of songs on here are filler, and this is one of them. This song is rather silly. I appreciate the talk about records and record stores as a collector, but it doesn't really work here. Musically, it's not even that interesting. It's filler, and this was one I just wasn't really a fan of. Susie Chapstick is unfortunately another one that falls into the least favorite category. It seems to try to follow the same lines as Goodnight Adeline, except this one is less effective. It's not bad by any means, but it's mostly forgettable. Strange Days Are Here to Stay picks up the momentum and gets the album back on track. Another protest song that gets the messages across directly about how things haven't been the same with chaos being spread around and the world crumbling around us. It's a fast-paced song with the guitarist and just acts as a backbone here. A great bounce back and energy. Living in the 20s is one of the best songs on here and very fitting for our timeline. About us living in the 2020s and how everything has been a complete mess, it plays an incredibly vital song. It may be fast and short, but it wastes no time at getting to the point while being fun musically. Father to his son is where the waterworks kick in. About the promises any father would make to their loving sons, except this is much more emotional, considering Billie's father passed away when he was young. Now relaying those promises onto your own children to live your late father's wishes. It's a beautiful track with the violins and acoustics building to a big climax that's worth it. If this doesn't make you tear up, your heart is made out of stone. The title track Saviors is next, and this is a cry for help to save the world from our current state. Though not the most energetic song here, the lyrics make up for it. It's a call to have someone save us from the world's destruction from the greedy people in power. It's a great song that really shows the best in Green Day. Finally, the last song, Fancy Sauce, closes the album, and I'm gonna be honest, this is another weak spot and probably the worst closer they've done. Musically, it's not bad, starting slow and then building to another climax, but what drops you here are the lyrics, which goes to trying to talk about people going crazy in mental asylums, going crazy in social media, but it's not exactly done in a good way. I don't know where they were trying to go from here, but the lyrics could be very off-putting for people, especially if they've been with it there before. It's fortunately a poor way to close out the album. As a final result, despite the slight inconsistency the album has, Saviors is still a very great comeback that is better than Father of All and the trilogy. It's an album that's not necessarily reinventing the wheel for Green Day and what they do, but with how great Green Day are and what they do, is nothing really to complain about. There will be many songs people will come back to and enjoy quite a bit. Overall, for my final score, I'm going to be giving this album an 8 out of 10. If you're a die-hard Green Day fan, you'll most likely love this. If you're a casual Green Day fan, you'll enjoy it fine. And if you were never a fan to begin with, you won't like this album, like some people. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Fantano. I saw that 3 out of 10 review. Of course I don't agree with you. You don't like anything that I like. Jokes aside, thanks for watching my review of the new Green Day album, Saviors. Don't expect full-length reviews like this often. I'm only going to be doing this for my favorites and important releases for me. So anyways, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.